So watched the video surveillance and saw resident Arias aggressively headbutt, throw a punch, striking him in the face, and then place resident Bruno in a chokehold. This RCSO spoke to resident Arias about his involvement in the fight, and resident Arias admitted the fight between him and resident Bruno occurred in the central dorm. Resident Arias said that the resident Bruno asked his age and made fun of him. Resident Arias stated he told resident Bruno to go and get in shape because his nipples looked like a 12-year-old girl.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 12347, State of Texas versus Adrian Arias. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Michael,
For the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
Martin Guerra.
And are you Adrian Arias?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Arias, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Have you, just a moment, the state has it, really. Have you received all of the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Arias, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, it appears that you are proceeding on the lesser included offense of deadly conduct and you're waiving counts 2 and counts 3. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objections.
Mr. Arias, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of deadly conduct from count 1? The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 10 years. Yes. Is it all? Okay. The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Arias, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so everyone, I'm gonna need you all to speak up so it's easy for Brenda to hear. Okay. All right, according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 1, but they're proceeding on the lesser included offense of count 1, which is deadly conduct. They're asking that your fine be assessed at $500. The state recommends deferred adjudication. This is concurrent with County Court Cause number 660924. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargaining agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution, no contact with Joseph Freeman, Freeman, Alexis Herrera, and Victoria Hernandez, and no possession of firearms. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the lesser included offense of deadly conduct, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, state up for State's Exhibit number 1 its attachments.
No objections.
Mr. Arias, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty of deadly conduct. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Respectfully, Your Honor, we're asking you to follow the plea bargain agreement. Mr. Arias is really anxious to get this case behind him. He's got some long-term goals, not just his job. He just recently got a new job, but he really wants to try and complete this as fast as possible.
All right, Mr. Arias, what do you do for a living?
Flooring and tile, wood flooring.
Are you good at it? If I see some of your work, I'm not going to see any rippling or buckling.
No, ma'am. I received a raise on my first day and even a bonus on my first check.
Do you remove the flooring or do you just lay it on top of?
Removed.
Do you leave dirt behind? You know, some people, they'll remove the baseboards and then just, whatever people had something to drink, they just shove it in there and just seal it up. Do you do that?
Absolutely not, ma'am.
Okay. I'm just asking for a friend. Do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
What are their ages?
21 and 17.
Okay. So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And before you answer, you are going to get drug tested today.
I'm completely honest about everything, ma'am. I pride myself on that. And I would come out there with
All right. For what?
marijuana and methamphetamine.
Okay. All right. How often are you using that?
Methamphetamines a few times a week, marijuana less than that.
Okay. All right. So we're going to test you today, but it's for us to get a baseline. But you're going to have to stop using. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to give you the help that you need. I'm not going to start him off with intensive. I'll start him off with outpatient treatment. We'll see how it goes from there. All right. Thank you for your honesty. A lot of people, they say no, and then when they find out they're going to get drug tested, then they say, well, in all honesty. So I appreciate you having your in all honesty up front.
Yeah.
You're welcome. All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to a $500 fine. That'll be probated. This is to run concurrent with County Court Cause number 660924. 4 years deferred adjudication. 100 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get it, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. So I want outpatient treatment. with probation. We're gonna do a UA today. And Rebecca, that's just for us to get a baseline on everything. There should be no contact with the following persons: Joseph Freeman, Alexis Herrera, Victoria Hernandez, no firearm possession, that goes without saying. We're going to do field visits, random. Rebecca, we'll start off with one time per month. Do you have any minor children that live with you, or you have a girlfriend who has minor children?
No, ma'am.
All right, we're going to start off random random field visits, one time per month. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. So if you can't report by Zoom, you need to make sure it's done in person. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And we'll do random UAs or the patch, proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. We're also going to do anger management. And once you complete the anger management, that will take care of the remainder of your community service hours. Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs? Okay. You're shaking your head now.
No, I'm sorry, I couldn't reach the unmute button.
All right. Mr. Arias, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record, Mr. Arias. So many things could have went wrong. You understand?
I'm sorry, I missed that, Your Honor.
I said so many things could have went wrong with this night or this day. So make sure that you hold on your temper. I always tell people, no matter what's said, what somebody says to you, even when it comes to writing a response, just hit pause. You know, pause, think about it, come back the next day. Of course, then it may become premeditated, but hit the pause button. All right, probation is going to go over conditions with him. She's in the back.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Arias.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Arias. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. I mean, it's Monday. It's always time for new beginnings. All right, so my understanding is you all are going forward with this motion to revoke. You're going to enter a plea of not true or true, and then the court is going to make a decision because there's no agreement. Is that correct? All right, so what I'm going to need you to do, counsel, if you can get a trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal.
I gave it to the lady.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me see. Where is it? All right. So trial courts, Mr. Arias, on a trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal, your signature on it is acknowledging that you understand that based upon what I do on this case, maybe you'll have a right to appeal, maybe you won't have a right to appeal. You understand? All right. So I'm going to need you to sign right here at the bottom where it says defendant. Counsel, there you go.
Why didn't you just tell me that I wouldn't have the right to appeal?
Now, I'll make a decision on that once I hear everything. I can't tell you if you have a right to appeal or not until I hear everything. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Arias. All right, we're going to go on the record. So I'm going to need everyone to make sure you whisper. And if you're in the box, please do not talk behind the court reporter because that makes her job more difficult. And it is a Monday and we're trying to make people enjoy their professions today. All right, court is calling 2020 CR 12347, State of Texas versus Adrian Arias. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Defense?
Ted Wood for Mr. Arias.
Are you Mr. Arias?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Arias, I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
We can review it, but I did read it.
All right. Do you want to have a chance to review that with your attorney? Are you sure? Because we're here. All right. Are you the same Adrian Arias who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 12347 for the offense of deadly conduct firearm on May 9th, 2022 for a period of 4 years? Is that you? All right, state.
Your Honor, in violation of condition number 2, on or about the 22nd day of July 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Adrian Arias, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as instructed by the supervision officer in violation of condition number 2.
Just one moment. There has to be another motion because I only have the one that has a violation of condition number 25. Probation, do you have a copy of the other motion? I don't have it.
This might be an old one, actually, that I have.
I got it from probation.
Because the only one I have is dated, that was signed on February 3rd. And that's a violation of the substance abuse treatment facility.
That's probably the correct one.
No,
This is an old one.
so I believe it's this one.
It is the old one.
Yes, so this one has previously been heard. So are you withdrawing the entry of violation of condition number 2, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
Okay. Violation of condition number 25, on or about the 3rd day of February 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Adrian Arias, did then and there fail to comply with the rules, regulations, or instructions of the Bexar County Community Supervision and Corrections Department Substance Abuse Treatment Facility, and that the defendant has been unsuccessfully discharged from the Substance Abuse Treatment Facility program in violation of condition number 25.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? All right, can you state? Did you understand by pleading true to violation of 25, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Were you aware of that?
Yeah.
No, I mean, not you believe so. All right, so this is what I want you to do for me. Straighten your body, look me in the eye, all right? So were you aware that by pleading true to violation of condition number 25, the court could find it true, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Were you aware of that?
I wasn't aware it was up to 10 years, Your Honor, but you did say. I thought you could tell me.
All right, so you're gonna have to stop mumbling. You're gonna have to open up so I can hear you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of 25? All right, the court is finding violation of 25 true. Is there an agreement?
Your Honor, there's not an agreement.
State, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we would request, he has shown, probation has not been successful for him. The treatment facility, he could not abide by the rules. There were other significant allegations that came out of that, Your Honor. So our recommendation would either be to revoke, to make an adjudication of guilt and revoke, or if the court is inclined to continue him for safety.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, Mr. Arias and I talked extensively last week about what happened in SADF. It's unfortunate. What I'm asking for, Judge, is that you deny the motion to enter adjudication, send him home to let him wait on a treatment slot at felony drug court. I believe he's been accepted into felony drug court. I think that SADF may have been in terms and conditions of his admission into felony drug court. He's excited about getting into felony drug court.
Well, I mean, is felony drug court going to accept him because he was unsuccessfully discharged from SADF?
Maybe not, Judge.
All right,
That may be an analysis that, I can reach out to Deanna or CJ or somebody and see if what they have to say about it. We can reset this for another day of court, please.
No, we're not going to reset it for another
I
day.
spoke to them, Your Honor, and they told me that I qualified for drug court
When was this talking to them?
about 2 weeks ago.
Who requested that he be referred to felony drug court for them to have spoken to him 2 weeks ago?
Your Honor.
All right. And did you get an update?
The report that I have, it means TV criteria, however, he was rejected. Felony drug court with the asking. And so their recommendation was to refer him to safety because of the act. That was done, that report was sent on February 6th.
All right. All right. So here's the thing, Mr. Arias. It appears to me that you don't want to be on probation. It appears to me that you wish to continue with your drug use. And there are some things that I can help people with and some things that I cannot. For example, I can give you all the tools possible. I can fill up your toolbox with this is what you do if you have the urge to use. Here's a treatment program we can give to you. But if you want to accept it, and if you're just living your life the way you want to live it, and then coming to the court asking for mercy, that's not going to fly.
Oh, no, that's not true, Your Honor. I've never been MTR'd out of any probation. I've always completed them, Your Honor. My probation officer treated me unfairly, Your Honor, revoked me for all kinds of things. I was 2 months into a 4-year probation period, and she revoked me for every last stipulation there was on it, Your Honor. I was trying to.
Well, here's the thing. Time out. Here's the thing. You can say, maybe, I don't know. I don't like people to speak ill of people who are not present. You can say that maybe your probation officer, maybe y'all have a personality conflict, a communication conflict, and you all don't get along. But the fact that they're putting violations in your motion to revoke, you can't say it's not true. If it isn't true, then we'll go there. You can't say that you're not using meth or marijuana. I mean, maybe you want to say that, but when probation officers put allegations in these motions, sometimes maybe they'll let other people slide. Maybe the person who doesn't report exactly at 9 a.m. on the 12th when they ask them to, maybe they come on the 13th, they let them slide. And then maybe for you, they don't let you slide. But the rules are in place and there are consequences to every rule. Do you understand? And I don't know why people seem to think that there should not be any consequences for actions, but they are. Like, here's the thing. If I don't pay my electric bill, you know what the consequences of that are? Coming home to a dark house. I don't pay my water bill. You know what the consequences of not having water? Knocking on my next door neighbor's door. And my neighbors are great. I know if I knock on their door, they'll let me spend the night there. And I'll say, please don't tell my mom I didn't pay my bill. But you have got to make a decision on what you want your life to be. If you want your life to be constantly looking over your shoulder because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, constantly worrying about when you're going to get your next drug so that you can live a life of being high, that's on you.
Your Honor, I had quit using drugs, Your Honor, and I told her that. When I took my second UA, I told her I was gonna UA dirty, but that my level should be lower, and on the third UA, I would be clean.
Why are you not doing safe? Why was there an issue with SATA?
Because I had been single docs, Your Honor, by the younger men there, and they had been pushing me, and eventually just became too much, Your Honor. And I got into a fight with one of them. There was a day one of them threw a roll of toilet paper at my face. I was watching TV. Here comes a roll of toilet paper. It's the one next to me. I did nothing about it, Your Honor. I looked at them. I kept watching TV, Your Honor. I tried, Your Honor. They pushed me and pushed me.
Probation?
They wouldn't leave me alone.
Could I see the documentation on this being released from SATA? It says on February 3rd, 2023, security monitor was monitoring the central dorm as he was preparing the residents for recreation and getting up from his desk. Mr. Simmons witnessed both residents, Arias and Bruno, fighting without warning. Shift leader and Castro, along with other staff members, responded quickly. Resident Bruno stepped away with a bloody nose and resident Arias with a bruise in his face. Both residents received medical attention. Minutes later, This RCSO watched the video surveillance and saw resident areas aggressively headbutt, throw a punch, striking him in the face, and then place resident Bruno in a chokehold. This RCSO spoke to resident Arias about his involvement in the fight, and resident Arias admitted the fight between him and resident Bruno occurred in the central dorm. Resident Arias said that the resident Bruno asked his age and made fun of him. Resident Arias stated he told resident Bruno to go and get in shape because his nipples looked like a 12-year-old girl. On February 3rd, resident Arias was returned to Bexar County. So it appears that your behavior is not good behavior.
How it happened. And I told them how it happened, and they said to me, that's what it looked like.
Right.
I never punched that guy in the face, Your Honor. Yes, I did headbutt him, Your Honor. I didn't punch him in the face and I didn't put him in a chokehold.
Mhm.
When I headbutted him, he grabbed my leg, he tried to take me down to the floor, Your Honor. He ended up pushing me back a couple of bumps. Yes, I grabbed him in a headlock because he was holding on to my leg, Your Honor. I never punched him in the face and he never stepped away. They pulled him off me.
All right, you have a choice today. Here's your choice. I will send you to prison for 4 years, or you can go to safety. Those are your two choices. There's no third option on the table. What would you prefer?
Take safety.
All right, the court will deny the motion. Alter and amend conditions to include safety. And upon release, there's to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. And probation, you can see if felony drug court will accept him. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, anything else, Mr. Arias? You're welcome. You had better start doing, we're off the record. You had better start doing better, because the other thing that was in that report is that you are minimizing your drug issues. And let me just tell you, anybody who's putting illegal substances in their body and sometimes prescribed substances in their body need to acknowledge that. And if you can't acknowledge that you have a problem, nobody can help you with the problem because you don't even see it as one. Do you understand?
Can I say something?
Do you really want to say something? I think you probably don't want to.
I do, Your
Okay, let's hear it.
Honor. I started using methamphetamine
Because what?
because I have Parkinson's.
Mhm.
Okay, and I went to the hospital and they almost killed me. And it left me traumatized, Your Honor, and they wanted $40,000 for surgery, and I didn't have $40,000. They don't have medication for Parkinson's. And the only thing I could come up with to help myself was.
All right, so here's the
They didn't
thing.
help me, Your Honor.
Now, here's the thing. What you're doing now is you're making an excuse for your use of meth.
I'm done with drugs.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, we will see.
47 this year. I'm pushing this. I want to do it.
Well, you need to let them know it's safety and you need to follow through. If you don't, you're going to find yourself back here. And from here on out, you need to realize you're looking at up to 10 years in prison. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Are you ready on Gregory Dela Cruz?
Yes, good.
All right.